Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome to the conclusion of Alien's Dark Descent. One way or another, stuff's getting sorted today. So we fought our way through the Harper's Hell refinery and mining complex to the entrance of the Olduvai archaeological dig site that was discovered below the mining complex. The last possible place we can check to find Cassandra being held by that nutjob Marlowe, the founder of the alien-worshipping Darwin-era cult.
Where the fuck do you think you're going?
I made Jonas a promise. I'm gonna get Cassandra out. I owe him that much.
This whole place is about to get nuked off the face of the planet, remember?
So I guess I'll be quick.
You mean I guess we'll be quick?
I can't ask you to do that.
You didn't. But we're coming anyway.
All right, enough. I always told Harper that stupidity was contagious.
So, here we go, into the final mission. Well, not the final mission. We've been doing the final mission for a couple of videos now. Into the final part of the final mission. Mako, Stern, Martinez. Couple of things to note. If you've made it this far, you've basically completed the game. It's next to impossible to fail from this point on, because you have no command points, because none of your abilities cost any command points, so you effectively have unlimited command points, and that's not all.
Would you look at that?
It's the goddamn gates of hell.
Come on. We have to find her. We have to find Cassandra.
Also, notice the complete and utter lack of health bars, or health kits, because you don't need health kits, because you don't have health bars, which means that Mako, Stern, and Martinez are effectively immortal from this point on. It doesn't matter how many aliens you get swarmed by, none of these three can die. At least, not until you reach the point in the plot where the game decides, okay, now it's time for somebody to die. Unfortunately, it's at this point where I have to admit to a rather large fuck-up. It was at this point during the playthrough where I thought, okay, shit's about to get real. I should save my progress, save the video, go and make a coffee, get myself ready, come back, and then see it through to the end. And that's exactly what I did, except I forgot to press record again when I started. Upon realising my colossal fuck-up, after completing the game, I thought, well, that's alright, I'll just go back to a previous save and continue from there, and except record this time. And it's here where I ran into a bit of problem with the game's save system, because the only two available save slots were either halfway through what happens next, or at least 2 or 3 hours previous as I was still fighting my way through the mines. So, join us a few minutes on from where we left off. Don't worry, you haven't actually missed much.
Guess we found the big-ass version of these damn eggs.
Doesn't matter how big you are, this creature will adapt. It always does.
This way, don't be afraid. You don't exactly match what they were made for.
Do we really have to do this?
Seems like a terrible idea.
I'm afraid we have no choice.
Yeah, these eggs, they're bigger than us. These are very different to the kind of alien eggs we've seen this far.
Come on. What could possibly happen to you? Hurry up! The eggs! They're opening. Relax, you're fine. I'm only kidding. See? You made it. Cassandra's not far now.
How's that for a prank, huh?
Yeah, fuck you, Marlowe. Not actually Marlowe, of course, it's just another synthetic. Marlowe's dead. He's been dead for some time, and it's just his synthetic copies that are running the show. I started to get a bit worried. Oh, yeah, here we go. Many, many Marlowes.
They're here.
Enough of these damn synths. Permission to engage!
There are dozens of them. Save your ammo and focus on finding Cassandra, Sergeant.
You that have come this far, take her. But you have to promise. Promise you will take care of her. She embodies years of research. Decades. She's the pinnacle of our Maker's work. He who has sacrificed so much. If only he could stand with us today. To witness Cassandra's first steps. To finally reach the culmination of human evolution. She is the only voice the Hive answers to. The bridge between your two species. The door to xenosynthesis.
Actually, I did start to get a bit worried substantially earlier on. Do you remember how we seem to get an alien queen every couple of levels? How are they going to top an alien queen? Because they could do something clever, or they could just give us an even bigger alien to fight. And the size of those eggs? Yeah.
Cassandra, can you hear me? Who are you? I'm a friend of your father's. Dad, he's here.
The final clue was when the Marlowe synthetic just now said that, don't worry, you're not exactly the kind of prey that those giant eggs were designed for.
No. It's waking up.
Guys, I have a bad feeling about this. We need to hurry.
I like Martinez.
Holy shit!
I kind of liked Stern too.
Move it, Hayes! Get her out of here!
Can you run? Yes. Stern!
I have to admit, I did kind of like the way that you could see that Stern just had no idea what to do there and just resorted to type and started shooting. But what I definitely didn't like was the way that they've just given us a kind of a cop-out ending in what has been, up until now, an absolutely amazing game by just throwing a bigger alien at you. I mean, the clues were all there, the massively oversized alien eggs, the huge scale of this entire complex, which was obviously designed and built by something way, way bigger than humans. One of the Marlowe copies even telling you, don't worry about those oversized alien eggs, they weren't meant for anything human. The fact that every 2 levels or so you have to fight an alien queen. In fact, the fact that they had an alien queen in the very first mission. Which was something of a challenge in the very first mission when you're coming at it with a squad of rookies, under-equipped and under-skilled, and carrying a whole bunch of trauma as baggage. But by the halfway point through the game, I mean, they weren't nothing, but they weren't that much of a challenge. And that's at the point where I started to think, well, how the hell are they going to top this? Please say they're going to do something slightly more imaginative than just throwing an even bigger alien at you. And they're just throwing an even bigger alien at us. Ah well, never mind. And of course, the fact that you cannot actually die here unless you get caught by that massively oversized alien monstrosity, the actual regular aliens that swarm you at points during the escape like this, I mean, they're not actually a threat because you don't have a health bar, you can't die, and you have unlimited command points. So even if they're close to melee range, you can just stand there, check the map, get your bearings. There's no real sense of urgency. Such a disappointing ending. The only actual real threat here is if the giant alien catches you, but then it just takes you back to the point where you pull Cassandra out of whatever device she was being held in, and you have to do it all again.
Coming back! Run!
And there's only so many different times you can take a wrong turn before you memorise the layout and the route that you have to take, which is back down this way. I think at some point... Oh yeah, here it comes. See, it's never going to actually catch you unless you take a wrong turn, or you stop to shoot things that you really don't need to stop and shoot at. You can slow it down a little if you need to, but you don't need to by hitting it with a grenade launcher. But you don't need to, just keep running. And as long as you don't take any wrong turns, you're going to be fine. Such a disappointing ending. Getting a real Mass Effect 3 vibe here.
We're almost there!
Almost there. Although we did just pass a room with regular human-sized alien eggs, which means we've got more regular human-sized aliens to deal with. But again, they cannot actually kill you. You don't have a health bar for them to damage. You have unlimited command points to deal with them, so unlimited shotgun blasts and grenades. Oh, and in this room just up ahead is the actual Marlowe. Well, at least he believed his own bullshit and he sacrificed himself to the cause, just leaving his synthetics to run the show.
There's something wrong. Run, Cassandra! We're getting out!
And once again, the voice acting, well, at least the main characters, not so much the squad of Marines, but it's absolutely on point. It's all really, really good. It's just a shame that it's all in service of such an uninspired, unimaginative, and kind of weak ending.
Stay close to me, Cassandra. Dad, no! Let's get out of here!
Also, I mean, quite aside from the whole let's just throw an even bigger alien at them for the finale, the design of that thing's just silly. I mean, it looks like they just went with the first design that they came up with. If there were alternatives to that, and that's the one that they picked, I'd like to see those alternatives. I will say this much though, while I was very disappointed with the ending, it was at least partially saved by the, once again, outstanding work done by the animators and the musicians.
Hanse! Let's get the hell out of here before these nukes detonate! Shields at 60%.
Of course, much like John Williams' Star Wars theme, when you've got the James Horner Alien soundtrack to rely on, it's difficult to screw that
20%.
up.
We did it. We did it.
And that, kids, was Aliens Dark Descent. I'm not going to say it was ruined by a weak ending, because it's still a great game. But the ending could have been better. Let's just leave it at that. No amount of excellent animation work or pulse-pounding James Horner Aliens 1986 soundtrack can make up for a generally kind of weak, lazy, and completely uninspired finish to what has been an absolutely outstanding game. It's just such a shame. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and say, well, they should have come up with something better. Oh, hang on a second. That sounds more like the Alien 3 soundtrack. That is the Alien 3 soundtrack. That was Elliot Goldenthal. Also, another great movie soundtrack. Movie itself, not so much. But I'm getting sidetracked, yes. So, yeah, no amount of great animation or fantastic movie scores can save that ending. It really should have been better. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and say, well, that should have been better, but it's not my job to make it better, is it? Although, it'd be interesting to sit here and just, throw some ideas around. In fact, let's do that. That's what the comments are for, I suppose. How would you have improved that ending? I mean, you could have just thrown a whole bunch of alien queens in at you, and that would have been pretty weak as well, because it's basically the same as just giving us a bigger alien, but I feel like it would have been a bit more interesting. Although, at the same time, you couldn't die. Yeah. It's harder than it sounds to come up with a way to top the end of Aliens. But that's the job that you take on when you accept the license. And unfortunately, Tinderloss definitely fell at the final hurdle. Other than that, though, great game. Had so much fun playing it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed watching the videos. Because that is the end of Aliens Dark Descent. As always, stay frosty, Marines.